is for you. I hope that you're doing well. Today we're going to be doing something I like to call hyperlink hopping. Hyperlink hopping. It's essentially, so we're going to go to Wikipedia. We're going to go to a random article. Well, we might cycle through a few till I get something I like to start with. But then, once we get there, the only way we can navigate is by clicking these hyperlinks that will take us to different pages. So the only way to see what I'm talking about is to get going. So let's random article. Okay, interesting. I had no idea that the shower beer was on Wikipedia. So a shower beer is a beer consumed while taking a shower. While the concept is not complex, it did not become a cultural trend until the first decade of the 2000s. Let's see if we can find... I guess there's no original starting point for this. So what's the best hyperlink here? So we've got Reddit or Urban Dictionary, and I think Urban Dictionary is probably a little more entertaining. Urban Dictionary is a crowdsourced English language online dictionary for slang words and phrases. The website was founded in 1999 by Aaron Peckham. Aaron, I thank you for your service. That's interesting. I had no idea it was that old, 1999. Originally, Urban Dictionary was intended as a dictionary of slang or cultural words and phrases not typically found in standard English dictionaries, but it is now used to define any word, event, or phrase, including sexually explicit content. Words or phrases on Urban Dictionary may have multiple definitions. Use examples and tags. As of 2014, the dictionary contains over 7 million definitions, with 2,000 new entries added daily. It's become a repository for bigoted postings. Interesting. Honestly, I find that nowadays, Urban Dictionary is like a more valid way to determine the meaning of something, because we have become rebellious as a language, and we no longer look towards someone else to tell us what the meaning is, and now we've become more crowdsourced, like, raw dogging. Obviously, you're not going to find that in a dictionary, and the term has evolved over the past few years. So he went to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. Hey, SLO, baby. You gotta go try a Creaky Tiki in San Luis Obispo. Awesome spot. Let's see. For the first 5 years, the site generated revenue but did not make a profit. In 2003, the website gained a wider attention after a news article revealed that a judge of the High Court of Justice in the UK had used Urban Dictionary to assist interpreting slang lyrics in a case involving 2 rappers. That's crazy. Let's see. Do we see any other interesting hyperlinks here? Let's check out Vulgarism. In the study of language and literary style, a vulgarism is an expression or usage considered non-standard or characteristic of uneducated speech or writing. In colloquial or lexical English, vulgarisms or vulgarity may be synonymous with profanity or obscenity, but a linguistic or literary vulgarism encompasses a broader category of perceived fault, not confined to scatological. What is that? Having to do with scat or feces, okay. Or sexual offensiveness. These faults may include errors of pronunciations, misspellings, word sound, either unintentionally or for comedic effect, resulting in a nonsensical, often humorous utterance. Malapropism. Let's see. Classicism. In the English word vulgarism derives ultimately from Latin vulgus, the common people. Interesting. So vulgarity comes from the common people, often as a pejorative meaning the unwashed. Masses, undifferentiated herb or mob. In classical studies, vulgar Latin as the Latin of everyday life is conventionally contrasted to classical Latin, the literary language exemplified by the Golden Age canon, Cicero, Caesar, Virgil, and Ovid, among others. The distinction was always an untenable mode of literary criticism, unduly problematizing. I think I nailed that first try. For instance, the so-called Silver Age novelists. Petronius, whose complex and sophisticated prose style in the Satyricon is that about satire? Is an example of Menippin satire. Interesting. Is full of conventional vulgarisms. So it has to do with vulgar, or like social class. Let's see. We're getting pulled into like the English side of Wikipedia. Now here's what's hard. Can we pull ourselves out? So maybe we'll shift to Caesar. We'll go to Julius Cesar and try and build our way out of here. It'd be nice if we could build our way back to modern times. So we all know Julius Caesar, a Roman general and statesman, a member of the first triumvirate. Caesar led the Roman armies in the Gallic Wars before defeating his political rival Pompey in a civil war. He subsequently became dictator from 49 BC until his assassination in 44 BC. The man only lasted 5 years. Caesar played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. So we all know Et tu, Brute. Let's see his, man, this is a long page. Let's see, Civil War, Italy, Africa, and Spain, legislation. Ooh, it'd be cool if we could get to conspiracy. That would take us on an interesting deep dive. Let's see, okay. So I guess I'll just tell you guys while I'm looking here. The reason there hasn't been a video recently is because the project in Florida ended. So I had to drive from Florida to Texas, and I was staying at state parks along the way, so I didn't really have anywhere to set up. And now that I'm back in Texas, of course, once I finally get set up, they tell me, okay, it's time to go to Ohio. So I'm going to Ohio tomorrow. So I just figured I'd do a nice, easy video here, doing this hyperlink hopping. And if you guys like this, please like and comment and let me know, because this is something I enjoy doing whenever I've smoked a smoke. Cult of personality. Let's do that. A cult of personality, or cult of the leader, is the result of an effort which is made to create an idealized or heroic image of a glorious leader, often through unquestioningly flattery and praise. Historically, it has been developed through techniques such as the manipulation of mass media, the dissemination of propaganda, the staging of spectacles, the manipulation arts, the instilling of patriotism, and government-organized demonstration and rallies. I think this is the only one that we haven't seen in recent times. A cult of personality is similar to apotheosis, which is deification. Okay, so essentially likening the person to a god, except that it is established through the use of modern social engineering techniques. It is usually established by the state or the party in a one-party state or dominant party state. They often accompany totalitarian and authoritarian governments. Okay, and even in liberal democracies, really. And let's see. And back in the day, the kings were considered just under God, if not equal to God. The advent of the internet and the World Wide Web in the 21st century. I love how they use Wikipedia as their image. In the 21st century has renewed the personality cult phenomenon, disinformation via social media platforms, and the 24-hour news cycle has enabled the widespread dissemination and acceptance of deceptive information and propaganda. As a result, personality cults have grown and remained popular in many places, corresponding with a marked rise in authoritarian government across the world. Purpose. Oh wow, we got another long. Let's just see what other links they've got here. I'm interested. I want to click on Orwellian. Look, they got Trumpism in here. Bunch of isms. Let's go ahead and click on Orwell. Really, this is a small ass page. Orwellian is an adjective which is used to describe a situation, an idea, or a social condition that 20th century author George Orwell identified as being destructive to the welfare of a free and open society. That'll probably be our next click. It denotes an attitude and a brutal policy of draconian. Oh, I did not know that's where that came from. Control by propaganda, surveillance, disinformation, denial of truth, also known as doublethink, and manipulation of the past, including the unperson. I think that's essentially what being canceled is today. A person whose past existence is expunged from the public record and memory. Practiced by modern repressive governments often includes circumstances depicted in his novels, particularly 1984. We've all read that, I hope. Despite the narrative depicting a society in which only governmental employees are under repressive scrutiny, but political doublespeak is criticized throughout his work. I think this is the essay at the back of 1984 that explains Newspeak. Let's see, do we want any of these? Open site. I want to check out Unperson. Oh, this is the Newspeak. Okay, this is the Newspeak page. You know what? Let's go through it. Let's check it out. In the dystopian novel 1984 by George Orwell, Newspeak is the fictional language of Oceania, a totalitarian superstate. Oh no, this is the appendix, the principles of Newspeak. He explains that Newspeak follows most rules of English grammar, yet is a language, golly, why is it doing that? Characterized by continually diminishing vocabulary, so the vocab gets smaller and smaller, getting rid of any quote-unquote unnecessary words. Complete thoughts are reduced to simple terms of simplistic meaning. The political contradiction of Newspeak ministry of truth, many plenty, ministry of plenty, are similar to Navia and Soviet contradiction in the 20th century, such as Gestapo. I don't know what that means, so apparently, I don't know, I didn't know this. Gestapo must mean like, kind of, ministry of truth kind of thing. So let's look at the principles to eliminate. Why does it do that, man? To eliminate the expression of ambiguity and nuance from Old Speak, or to reduce the English language communication function. Newspeak uses simplistic constructions of language such as dichotomies of pleasure versus pain and happiness versus sadness. Such dichotomies produce the linguistic and political concepts of good think and crime think. That was reinforced. In Newspeak, English root words function both as nouns and as verbs, which reduce the vocabulary available for the speaker to communicate meaning, e.g. as a noun and as a verb, so they act as both in one. The word think eliminates the word thought to functionally communicate thoughts, which are the products of intellectualism, apparently. Newspeak is spoken in statico. Statico is a form of musical articulation, and it signifies a note of shortened duration. Minispeak. Newspeak. Thought control vocabulary. Let's see if we can get some words here. Un is used to indicate negation, as Newspeak has no non-political antonyms. For example, the standard English word warm and hot are replaced by uncold, and the moral concept communicated with the word bad is expressed as ungood. When prepended to a verb, the prefix un communicates a negative, imperative mood that forms a command or request. Okay. Thus, the Newspeak word unproceed means do not proceed. Fair enough. Plus is an intensifier to replace very and more. I'm doing plus good today. Not very good, plus good. Double plus is one that replaces things like fantastic or excellent. I am double plus good today. Anti is the prefix that replaces before. Thus, anti-filing replaces before filing. Okay. Post is the prefix that replaces after. Post-haste kind of thing. Up and down. This may be literal or could be figurative, such as in the case of up-sub, submitting a thing to a higher authority. Okay. And getting rid of bad. So right here, good and crime. So they replace bad with crime to imply that there's no such thing as bad things. There's only things that go against the state. So it makes it impossible to think that there are there are good things that you can do that may not align with the law, such as beating somebody up for committing a crime. Like that could be morally justifiable in today's age, but in the world of 1984, that is it's not a bad thing, it's a crime thing. So it opposes whatever the state says. So no matter what, there's no way to think of it as good because it is a crime. Old indicates before, yeah. And mal is treacherous. So I was trying to get away from the English side of Wikipedia for this video, but as you guys can tell, I'm quite interested in things like like etymology and things like that. What's the unword of the year? Okay. Oh, I just popped my neck. I don't know if you guys heard that. Oh wow, there's a whole list. Interesting. So, these are words of the years. Bush lips is a phrase spoken by George H.W. Bush. So no new taxes. Mother of all, a snow clone. Not. Information superhighways, that describes the internet, I believe. Mom. Oh. Emergence of voting blocks like soccer moms, so that's the reason that it was chosen. Chad. Is that really what? Oh, wow. So they had to do a recount for the 2000 election. E, so anything that's, techno related. 9/11, fair enough. WMD, metrosexual is a term for a man who's especially meticulous about his personal style. Interesting. Truthiness, to be Plutoed, to get rid of something. Subprime, no shot. Bailout, tweet, so 2009 must be when Twitter came out. Apps, Occupy, like Occupy Wall Street. Hashtag another Twitter, like bringing it back. Black Lives Matter, was that 2014? They. Oh, so this is when pronouns became quite prevalent. Dumpster fire, that's when the country went to shit. Fake news, Tinder age shelter, page does not exist. More pronouns, COVID, insurrection, OC. I don't know, I don't get that one. And shitification, yes. And yo, what did I say about raw dog? What did I say? That's crazy. Alright, the AC just kicked on, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop the video. If you guys enjoyed, please hit the like button, leave me a comment. If you really liked it, subscribe. I'm gonna try and keep you guys in the loop, but I'm gonna try and have a video out next Saturday as well, so be sure to check